4 women are entering the great adventure of childbirth.
So you hear your water's going now, Anna?
They're all going about it in very different ways. For Jo, there's no doctors or midwives.
It's the hospital thing that I think is the madness, actually.
Anna wants all the medical intervention money can buy.
My obstetrician owns my birth. I'm going to have enough to do once the baby comes.
Why should you suffer like somebody did 100 years ago?
Lisa's hanging on to her baby's placenta. Katie's eating it.
That looks pretty nice, doesn't it?
I couldn't think of anything more revolting.
You eat meat, like...
Well, it's not like my baby's placenta.
4 women, all determined to have the birth they want.
Other women do judge you. We have so many choices in our lives now, so why can't we choose also how we're going to give birth?
Lovely. Thank you.
Yummy, yummy.
Childbirth, the perfect topic for ladies who lunch.
My first labour was more than 30 hours. Every labour was just horrendous.
I'm hanging onto the kitchen window going... As he said, what's the matter? I'm having a baby.
Soaking it up and putting a brave face on it is 34-year-old Anna. She's expecting her second child in a few weeks.
I mean, I originally thought I was dying because I didn't think anyone could actually go through this much pain and survive it. I'm completely for drugs in childbirth. Why should you suffer like somebody did 100 years ago? Why should you suffer? That's not why they created these drugs. If you're relaxed and stress-free, then the baby...
Relaxed, it makes a big difference.
Women are different.
Of course they are.
Some women can just drop a baby...
In the supermarket.
In there.
Water births. Yeah. Women lying in this horrible water that they give birth in, which I think is disgusting.
Oh, what, the
water births?
Yeah, I don't like the idea of that, you see.
Oh, neither do I. That's somebody else's primordial soup. I don't want to give birth in that. You see these women go, and their husbands are kissing them, and then the baby comes out and it's all subdued.
Yeah.
It's not like that. It's not real.
Yeah.
It's not like that at all.
Anna's birth will be a more predictable affair. She's elected to have a caesarean for non-medical reasons.
So you've booked in for another C-section?
Yeah,
Why?
But you had an emergency one.
I had an emergency one, but that was... I've had 2 natural deliveries.
Yeah.
And if I was to be pregnant again...
You wouldn't want one?
I would never want another C-section.
To be all calculated and in order.
If he comes on the right day, you'll have caterers at the hospital and champagne.
Well, like I said, Bruce was... He's made the operation at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, 8 o'clock?
Why
So early.
Has he
I
got
would have thought if you were...
Has he got a meeting at 12 or something?
I would rather have had a bit more sleep.
Are you paying for this abuse?
Look, Alexander, there's another one. What's this? You don't know it?
Anna lives with her son, Alexander, her luxury property developer husband, Bruce, and Angel, the housekeeper.
We have busy lives, and we're out of the country a great deal, but we fit our family life into that, and it really fits in very well. Our little fellow's done 42 long-haul flights in his 18 months.
Alexander, you know you're going to have a brother. You're going to have a brother. Are you going to play with your brother?
I had an elective caesarean the first time around with Alexander, and that was my choice, that was maternal choice, because I don't particularly like pain, and I feel that there are medicines and there's technology out there now to avoid that, so if that is available, then why not choose that? I'm very much in control, and I hate things that happen randomly, and I don't like surprises. So another reason for the caesarean is that I know what time, I know what day, and I feel more calmer in myself. But also I can feel that I can, you know, I could have my hair done, and I can look nice, and I can feel as a woman again.
porridge. OK, let's do some porridge then. Right, are you going to put the oats in the pan? Yeah, OK. Oh, are we into the grapes? You might have gathered means I want some of that, Mummy. Breakfast takes about an hour or two. What I've realised with having a small person is that if you start rushing things, it gets stressful. We live boat life, which is 4 miles an hour. It's very relaxed, it's a very steady pace of life, and that's how I like it. Mango! And I'm quite lucky in the fact that my partner's got a good job, and so he brings good money in. And we save a lot of money because actually we don't have massive bills. So that's good. We've almost paid off our home. You know, we almost own our home, which is almost unheard of in this day and age.
37-year-old Jo is due in a few months and is choosing a free birth. A radical approach where birth takes place at home, alone and unobserved, with no doctor or midwife present.
Women have been giving birth for hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years, without the assistance of medicine. When you look at how animals give birth, they go away, they find a hole, they find a little nook or a cranny which is dark and safe, and if they feel in the slightest bit threatened, birth shuts down, labour shuts down. Birth happens best with least hitches when it's unobserved and undisturbed.
Oh no!
Jo free-birthed Holly, so she's well practised in going it alone.
This is me during labour. I moved around a lot during labour, and one of the positions that I spent a long time in was hanging off the central girder off the roof beam. I'm getting tummy tickles from Dan. As I was having contractions, he came and just naturally put his hands on my belly and just started really gently tickling it. And the most amazing thing happened. The contractions, the pain just reduced massively. It's the hospital equivalent of gas and air, do you know what I mean? OK, so this was the latter stages of labour. Every part of me wanted to be leaning forward. I think the pain is a rite of passage. It's in many cultures, in many traditional cultures, women giving birth were given the same status as warriors going into battle. Yeah, for exactly that reason. That was their rite of passage into womanhood. And it makes you feel invincible. It makes you feel immortal. It makes you feel like you can take on anything.
There are no statistics on numbers of women who free birth. It can be a secretive and underground world.
Come on, we've got to go to the midwife. Got to go and see. Come on.
Jo doesn't want a midwife at her birth, but she is seeing one for antenatal checkups.
The medical profession, I think, feel quite threatened by free birth because it challenges the fact that we need doctors and that we need midwives. I think more than anything, I feel like I'm playing a game. That's what it's about. It's about tactics. For me, engaging with the NHS, it's about me engaging just enough so that I don't have social services knocking at my door because I've been charged with concealing a pregnancy or refusing medical care. So I'm playing a tactical game. I'm very aware of that. Ellen's listening to baby's heart.
Whichever birth choice a pregnant woman makes, midwives aim to support them.
For some women, obviously, for a lot of women, the idea of being on a boat with no one around them in terms of no sort of medical support staff would not be where they feel safe and they feel happy to give birth.
And I totally accept that.
And have you got, I mean, I know you're not sort of planning on calling anybody. Do you want the numbers for sort of any of the hospitals in Leeds, or are you not?
Not particularly.
No.
I kind of feel like I'll instinctively know if something's not right.
Mm-hmm.
You've just kind of got to see what happens.
And is the plan just that it'll be you and Dan?
Yeah, and I'd really like to explore the sort of deeper intimacy between myself and Dan as well, of giving birth with just us.
Anna's baby is due in 2 weeks, on the 29th of May at 11 a.m. precisely.
Do you find that, because you've got the caesarean date planned, do you find that's nice to work to, or...?
Yeah, it's really nice in a way, because we've tried to book a hotel 2 nights before the birth. It makes it sort of a bit of a whole, hopefully a whole experience as well. You know, what time, what day. I can make plans for when I leave hospital.
Oh, really?
To go to Ireland in 2 weeks' time. That's like a week before the baby comes. And I'm like, oh, is that sensible?
Oh, no, yeah, is that going to be a good idea?
I haven't got much choice. He says I've got to go with him for a business meeting, so...
Oh, so hopefully you'll be okay then.
Yeah, I hope so.
Anna is having her baby privately at the Portland Hospital in London. It's costing around £15,000.
If I say I'm going privately and I've chosen an elective caesarean, I do get judged. But it's my choice. It's the way we've decided to spend the money we have. It's like school places. If you choose to send your child to a private school, then there's more places in state schools for other children. So I guess if I'm giving birth privately, then yes, there is another place in that hospital bed for someone else to give birth.
Anna has chosen Harley Street obstetrician William Dennis to deliver her baby.
Great. And we chatted about the timing of the caesarean section.
Yes,
Sorry, you sound like you're having a rather busy time prior to the...
I didn't know this.
No, I didn't know this either.
I didn't realise.
So you come back, you're going to Belfast the day before and then...
Yeah, well, we're both flying to Belfast on Monday, if you think that's still okay.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
2 weeks, and I think I need to be away the day before, but I'm hoping to get back late that day. I will get back late that day. So.
Okay, is it more painful the second time round?
I mean, does it take longer to heal, do you think?
No, it shouldn't do. So you'll go home usually 3 days afterwards. If you can try and avoid lifting heavy things like shopping.
And it's no driving for 6 weeks?
Yeah.
Can I just ask you, I need to go back to the States.
Yeah.
What's the earliest that Anna and the baby could fly?
Really, in principle, there's nothing to stop children from flying. No, it's really, usually the limiting factor is getting the necessary documentation, the passport.
So could we...
Where are you going to Miami, is it?
Possibly, yes.
Yeah.
Could we... So could Anna realistically fly sort of 10 days after if we needed to? I mean, hopefully we won't.
I mean, I'd probably give it a bit longer than that. I'd probably suggest giving her a chance to recover, I would have thought.
So I've got all these affirmations and positive statements. I've got them all over the house. My mind knows how to surrender to my birthing body. Basically, it's about shutting your mind off. So instead of thinking, oh my God, this is so painful, and having all these negative thoughts, I was just able to bring to mind these kind of positive statements.
For some women, the weeks before birth are filled with daily doses of positive thinking.
This is one of my favourite ones. I know my baby feels my calmness and confidence. When I'm giving birth, all I need to do is relax and breathe and nothing else. That's my main job. My body will do the rest.
It's as easy as that?
I think so.
Fewer than 3% of women choose home birth. 35-year-old Katie is one of them.
Are you tapping? We can do it on the board.
She'll be supported by a midwife, husband Dave, and perhaps to a lesser extent, daughter Matilda.
I think people think that you're brave or you're crazy or you're selfish even, but I want to be in control of my own birth. I had my first baby at home. It was amazing. It was really beautiful. I prepared very well for it. I did lots of things to help myself. I personally want to be able to trust in my body and I suppose challenge my body almost that, like, come on, you can do this. I think I look just like Matilda there.
You did, the absolute double. You were so cute.
Thanks.
Yeah.
What was I like when I was little?
Very mischievous.
Was I?
You had 3 sets of harness on your buggy when you went out. Not to stop you getting out, just to slow you down slightly.
Gosh, wow.
When I was expecting you, I had a private gynaecologist. He came in looking $1 million. He was a really smart, charismatic person.
That's clearly very important.
I wanted an epidural, which I did have. But then, when I woke up, couldn't move my legs. I thought I was paralysed for just a few minutes, and it really scared me. I found it really traumatic, And I couldn't believe how anyone could have a second child. So when you said that you wanted to have the baby at home, and I said, oh, you're mad, having a first baby at home. But you were adamant that everything was fine and the baby was just going to arrive. So when that did happen, no one was more amazed than me.
So last time, while I was in labour, and you'd read my birth plan, and when it got to the bit about the placenta, you were like, you want your placenta saving so you can eat it. And I was like, oh yeah, maybe you shouldn't have seen that.
I thought it was
bit.
one of your funny jokes.
Oh right.
I thought, she's gone mad.
Had you ever heard of it before?
No, never. Never.
Like, I do intend, obviously, to do the same this time. Because...
Really? You sure about that?
Yeah. But don't you think that I was very healthy? Like, I bounced back really quickly. And...
But they do a great range of smoothies in the supermarkets now.
Without placenta in?
Yes, yes. I mean, I thought it was horrific. I still can't get my head round that.
Really?
Yeah.
What bit of it do you find so horrible?
Well, I'm quite squeamish, but honestly, I couldn't think of anything more revolting.
You eat meat, like...
Well, it's not like my baby's placenta. That's
really?
Nothing like that.
You know, I thought it was a bit weird when I first heard about it, but when I started reading up as to why you might do that, then it became much more normal, because I thought, actually, why wouldn't you do it? It's just to replenish my body of the nutrients that it's lost.
Do you think that's psychological?
Well, I think there is no medical evidence to say that it's beneficial, but that's only because they haven't done studies, because it doesn't make anyone any money.
I'm not convinced.
Another woman with grand plans for her placenta is 33-year-old Lisa. She lives in Devon with husband Paul and 3 kids.
In a couple of weeks, Mummy's baby's going to be born, isn't it?
Can I see the birth?
It depends if you're awake, because babies often come at night time. If it's the middle of the night, I don't think you're going to be woken up.
I want
you do.
to. I want to go in a pool.
Well, you can't come in the pool at the same time as I'm in the pool. We won't fit.
Yeah.
No, we won't. So there's going to be Mummy and a baby in there. This is our 4th baby, and we're planning a home birth, hopefully a water birth, and then a lotus birth. A lotus birth is when you don't cut the cord and you don't remove the placenta from the baby, so they stay attached until the placenta detaches naturally, which can take anywhere between sort of 2 and 9-10 days. Do you remember when Donegal was born? Do you remember he had his cord?
Yeah.
And it attached to his placenta and we carried it round in the muddy?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Why did you?
Because it's part of the baby. When the baby's born, it's attached to its
What
placenta.
is a placenta?
It keeps the baby alive while it's in Mum's tummy for all that time.
Why don't you just throw it away?
Because it's part of the baby. We wouldn't throw the baby away, would we?
No.
No. For me, the main reasons are just to keep it as natural as possible. In really primitive times and in the wild, mammals don't get rid of the placenta, and chimpanzees have lotus births, and they're very closely related to us. I just don't see the need to take it away. It's joined to the baby for 9 months and keeps it alive, and then it just seems a bit cruel when the baby's born to cut it and take it away from it. Those written placenta do not eat.
Time to familiarise doula Jane with afterbirth plans.
So this is the stringy long cord.
Doulas aren't medics or midwives. They support women emotionally through labour. On this occasion, Jane will have rather more on her hands.
And just run me by what happens.
You just don't separate the cord from the baby, really.
Right.
No cord ties or clamps or anything.
Right.
You just kind of dry it off and then wrap it up in a towel or muslin, or I think we're probably going to get a bag or something.
Okay.
A little portable placenta carrying device.
So it's just one step on from delayed cord clamping, really, isn't it?
Yeah. With delayed cord clamping, obviously you get the extra blood to the baby, and that's got all kinds of benefits. So it's that, but just a bit more. I think the baby remains calmer because it's the only thing it's known for the last 9 months, and you're not taking it away.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. And were there any negative? Is there any negative side to it?
It does smell.
Yeah.
It's not the most pleasant smell. And last time we put dried rosemary and salt on it, so it smelled like roast dinner. It was rotting meat roast dinner. It was quite disgusting. So we go more floral this time.
Okay, so lavender oil?
Rose, things like that.
Nice.
Yeah. I think a lot of people don't even realise that placenta exists. They realise you have a baby, but they don't realise that there's something else that comes after it. A lot of people are surprised by that. And I think because most people have never seen a placenta. If they've had a baby, they might have just glimpsed it before it goes in the medical waste bag, but it's not something that's seen or very normal to talk about. So I think that's a lot of people, because it's sort of slightly alien to them, and that's why they think it's a bit icky and a bit gross.
Okay, come on.
The placenta. Some want to save it, others have more ambitious plans.
Should we get some of these oranges here? We need some bananas.
I looked at different ways of ingesting placenta. Some people choose to make a pie out of it and share it with their family. But for me, I am going to make my placenta into a smoothie, a fruit smoothie.
Raspberries and red currants and blackberries and blueberries. So we just need some coconut milk. How many do I need? 3? I don't know.
There isn't a great deal of actual clinical research about it, and that's because I guess it doesn't make anyone any money. But anecdotally, for the people who've done it, they say, actually, yeah, we didn't get the blues, it helped us bounce back much better, we felt great afterwards, and it helps us bond with our baby. And I thought, well, why wouldn't you do that? You're not going to die, you're going to be more healthy, probably, or else you'll be the same, yeah? It's unlikely that you're going to be worse.
Ready?
Free birthers are a concern to midwives. Joe's getting a visit from supervisor Lorraine, who's come to risk assess the boat in case of an emergency during labour.
You told me on the conversation, and I've met you before with Holly, that you're still planning a free birth.
That's right.
All right? And for me, that means no medical professional here, just a birth attendant, birth partner with you. And is it going to be down? Mums can deliver their own baby. It's not against the law for mums to deliver their own baby, but nobody can act in the capacity of a qualified midwife or doctor if they're not qualified.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it would be illegal. So from a midwife's point of view, vaginal examinations, breaking your waters, assisting with the birth, other than what did Dan do last time?
He caught Holly coming out.
Yeah. So, you know, catching the baby only, passing her up to you or him up to you, the skin to skin. No other medical interventions.
But that's fine, because that's what I don't want, is medical interventions. A lot of women are actually afraid to engage with
professionals.
With professionals.
Yeah. Saying they want to free birth.
Exactly. So a lot of women stay under the radar because actually they don't... Basically, they're scared that their children are going to get taken away. And I've had independent midwives tell me that it's illegal to free birth.
Really?
Yeah.
It needs further discussion. I know you've had Holly and you were pretty straightforward, but what if, all right, you can always phone. Don't hesitate, please don't hesitate. If you change your mind and you wanted a hospital birth before that, don't hesitate either.
I don't think that's going to happen.
But that's, you know, it's said then, and then you know. We wouldn't encourage anybody to free birth. Birthing alone, with no one in attendance, is risky. Birth alone is risky. So women choosing not to have medical professionals in attendance worries us. Their choices sometimes are not what we want them to be. We can't make those choices for them. We have to go with the women. We have to plan and make it as safe as possible for the women, the babies, the families, and midwives who may be in attendance, who called in emergencies.
I think it's definitely more challenging for them because it's the unknown, isn't it? It's working with women who have quite clear ideas generally about what they want and what they don't want. All we're doing is what is natural and normal for human beings. It's the crazy, the hospital thing that I think is the madness, actually.
We had the scan the other day. You know, the 3D one.
Anna's embracing all the bells and whistles of a medicalised birth. She's had 7 scans, plus one in 3D.
I think he looks like Alexander already. That's a real strange one.
I don't know how you can tell.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. I think it's going to be quite hard work with 2 of them, because Alexander...
Hard work?
Alexander is...
You've got enough with one. He's like royalty. He's got his own entourage. This cake's much, much nicer than the cake I had in London with you.
Yeah, that wasn't so good, that one, was it? No.
You giving birth the way you are giving birth, it's so utterly, completely... Well, I suppose it's alien to me.
But I suppose they had caesareans then, but...
Oh, of course, but you only had them... you couldn't choose to have a caesarean. We just didn't get that choice. I think everybody was expected to have a natural birth, unless you were ill.
But do you think it's good that you can have a choice like that?
I'm not sure.
Why?
I'm not sure. To be honest, there's a name for people who have caesareans. Like an easy way out.
It's not easy, because the pain afterwards is quite painful. It's really painful afterwards.
But don't forget, some people who give a natural birth, it's still painful afterwards. But some people are in labour for hours and hours. In fact, some people are in labour for days.
Well, if you could choose not to, then you wouldn't, would you? So, like I say, you take tablets if you're ill, so why can't you not do something to stop yourself having to suffer that pain?
You know, I suppose I'm a little bit old-fashioned. When you have a baby,
why should
that's part of having a baby.
Well, you have to have pain.
Well, yeah.
Well, so it is painful, and it's still not nice, but it's just...
But, you know, I'm not being funny. You don't really know what it's like.
No.
Because, you know, it's all right, you know, saying, but until you do something yourself, you don't know.
So when your cervix has fully opened and your body is giving you all the signals, all the signs that you're going to meet your baby soon.
Katie has 3 weeks left. Keen to avoid the discomfort of birth, she's deep breathing through a session of natal hypnotherapy.
That amazing natural elasticity of your skin allows the concertina-like muscles of the perineum to fan out, gliding down.
Dot, her teacher, is also a trained midwife. She's helping Katie keep calm, which seems to be working.
Your last birth was amazing, but this birth's going to be different.
Yeah.
There's that almost that letting go of any anxiety that you've got. But what if? But, you know, I had a really brilliant birth last time. Maybe all my looks run out, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
All that sort of magical thinking business. So you can choose to let go of that if you want to.
I can't remember what these mean. Shaking the apples. Is it like wiggling your hips?
No, it's like getting hold of your bum and giving it a really good whoa. It gets rid of all the tension and stress.
Oh, right. And horse lips as well. I think I put that on here.
That's Ina May.
Yeah, I know.
And you did that.
Yeah, I did.
Because you were laughing at Dave because he couldn't do it. Yeah, I can't do it very well. Not good. You're better at it than me.
Ta-da! Brilliant. Hello, everybody. Hey! Loads of people!
Jo has 2 weeks to go. She's summoned a close circle of like-minded females to an outhouse on the banks of her moorings.
We've created you a womb space with retro curtains.
We love it.
And a few drops of rose water for everybody to get us in the zone. So, there you go. You're going to be like slugging whiskey by the end of this.
We are singing, singing.
This is a blessing way, a Native American ceremony which prepares the pregnant woman for birth.
We are circling, circling together. We are singing, singing our heart song. This is family, this is unity, this is celebration, this is sacred.
Sacred Ones, I am Catherine Dancing Jaguar, I am Earth Dreamer. I ask that you help us to create a strong matrix of power, love and intending. I call to you as the great Mother Bear to help Joe step into the cave of womanliness, to be able to access the power that is within our wombs. This is your opportunity to completely surrender and allow yourself to be held.
Oh, scary stuff that is, isn't it?
Everybody climb in.
Snuggling. Oh, this is going to make the tears flow.
Just let go. Let us hold you.
Oh, it was beautiful and amazing and strong and powerful and overwhelmingly love-filled.
Are there elements of it that is a little bit bonkers?
A little bit bonkers. I suppose it depends from where you're sitting, doesn't it? That's a traditional pagan stroke shamanic ceremony. So for me, it's totally normal. But I'm sure there will be plenty of people out there who are going, they're all mad. And that's fine. You can think that if you want. I don't care.
Lisa is now full term. She's had complications, but has gone against medical advice to be induced early. It's an unpredictable waiting game.
I'm trying everything to try and naturally induce this baby. I don't really agree with chemical induction, hormone induction. But yeah, trying all the old wives' tales, so pineapple, burning Chloe sage oil and using it in massage, long walks for as far as I can manage. Still got sex to try, but I'm not that desperate. Yeah.
Midwife Paula has come to check on the increasingly large baby and Lisa's high-risk status.
So how's little one's movements doing, Lisa?
Still very active.
Right? Still very active.
Very. There's a lot of space at the top.
There is a lot of space.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot more space than there was.
Maybe
so
it's
that's
only
always...
9-pounder.
Yeah, it might just have to be a small 9-pounder this time. It still needs to go down a little bit more, but it's definitely further down than it was.
Okay.
So we've had our pre-birth chat, you know, because we know we're classing you as a high-risk pregnancy.
Yeah.
Because you've had very cuddly babies in the past. The risks, you know, as you know, with having big babies is you've got the risk of the shoulders getting stuck on the way out.
Mm-hmm.
We've also got risks of that you've had sugar in your urine, and we're potentially treating you as gestational diabetes. You know, and as you know, our advice is for you to have had a hospital birth, plus to be induced at 38 weeks.
Yeah, I'm still really keen to proceed with a home birth plan with our supervisor and experienced midwife attending. I still feel that home birth is the best choice for us, and really keen to avoid going to hospital if we can, because I feel a lot more comfortable at home and I think the birth will go better.
In the end of the day, we cannot force a woman to leave their house. The unborn baby hasn't actually got any rights. Hasn't got any legal rights until it is actually born and in the world. But any birth, hospital or home birth, has its potential risks, and that's what makes our job so fascinating but also scary at times, because we don't know if these potential risks are going to happen.
Anna's operation is nearing. She's packing for a 4-night stay at the Portland Hospital.
I love Winnie the Pooh, so I think that's really cute. And Daddy bought this one. This is the Armani one, which is still going to be too big for a while. They're just all so cute. I really struggled to conceive our first child, Alexander. It was a complete emotional roller coaster. We had IVF, series of IVF. We've seen different doctors around the country to see if anyone could diagnose why we couldn't conceive a child. It's just soul-destroying, completely soul-destroying. I was in an extremely bad way, to be honest, and it was extremely hard when friends, you know, at similar ages, all started becoming pregnant, and I didn't accept it, and I couldn't deal with it particularly well.
After 3 rounds of failed IVF, their luck changed one New Year's Eve.
Bruce and I had this little thing that we went to a chalet. There was stars in the sky, and we didn't say anything to each other, and I looked at the stars and he said, you know, you can make a wish when you see a star. So I didn't say anything and he didn't say anything, and then when we found out I was pregnant, he said, you know, I made a wish on that star, and I said, I made the same wish. So obviously our wishes were the same. We definitely chose a cesarean because of the horrible ordeal we had trying to conceive. The doctors know how quickly they can get the baby out. There's a full team of nurses and doctors there to check the baby's well. And I'm not willing, after everything that we've been through, to take that risk.
"11 a.m. on the 29th of May. It's time for Anna's baby to appear.
Anna, I'm just going to put some cold stuff on your back now. It's a bit freezing, I'm sorry. Well done.
OK, I'm going to give you the local anaesthetic in the skin now. Very good.
The expression that's been used, too posh to push, is not something that I see in my practice. In my experience, there is a small percentage of women who opt to have a caesarean section for maternal choice, and they come with very different choices and anxieties.
Well done, you're doing well. Does that still feel right?
That feels on the left now.
Oh, right, OK.
It's also the case that some women who've been through IVF and a medicalised process of IVF might also regard pregnancy and delivery from the same medical perspective, and therefore opt to have caesarean section from that point.
Lovely, Doran, thanks. And tooth forceps and scissors. Good, it's all going fine, Anna. You don't want to know what's going on, but... Great, so any minute now you hear your waters go, and then we'll get to see this child. Lovely, that's fine. You right there? So you hear your waters go now, Anna? Lots of dark hair. Just very gently, that's fine. Lovely, hello. You're going to come and say hello to us? Hello. Hello. Aren't you sweet? You're about to make a little... Hello. Hello. Congratulations. Have a stamp, thanks. Well done, congratulations. Baby can go... Yeah, no, but he's fine. Baby's absolutely fine.
Well done.
I'm so pleased.
Yeah. It's overwhelming, isn't it?
My two little men.
I can't believe it's a baby until it's a...
You just get so used to them being inside you, moving, and then suddenly it's like... It's amazing.
Here we are.
The uterus is lovely and contracted.
Midnight in Manchester. Katie's baby is on the move.
She's doing fab, really, really well. She's just coping fantastically. It just shows that there's not a fear there or anxiety, you know, how well women can do, and if they just trust themselves to labour, then they will.
You make it sound very easy.
Well, yeah, easy said than done, but yeah, I think preparation is definitely the key in practice. But yeah, she's done all them things and it's paying off so far, so all going well. You're alright, don't panic. That's it.
I'm not being a wuss, am I?
It's all you're great.
She's starting to get serious. She was all nicey, oh, welcome to my home and stuff. And now she's just like, keep quiet, stay out of my way, and don't mess about too much, because I'm having a baby. Keep breathing down.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Oh goodness.
Wow. Head up first, that's it. Beautiful. Perfect. Wow. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Hello. Wow.
That's it, just keep on what's coming, so. Hands in here, head up, that's it.
Wow. Oh my word.
It's caged. Not caged in there.
Oh my goodness. It felt at the end like the hardest thing that I've ever done in my life, but now I can't even remember. It's like I've forgotten straight away.
It's 10 o'clock and Lisa's in labour. As contractions ramp up, things take an unexpected turn as she leaves the pool and heads to the bathroom.
When I got to the toilet, my waters broke, and then the cord came out first before the baby's head, which is an emergency situation. So Paul had to call an ambulance. The midwife's got me on the kitchen floor on all fours, pushing, and she was born less than a minute later. After the birth, the midwife checked her over. She was breathing, she was fine. So emergency over, we got back in the pool to deliver the placenta. It does hurt a lot, so pool is great pain relief. About 45-50 minutes later, the placenta was born. So we put it in this bucket. The midwives have checked it over to make sure it's all intact and there's nothing left inside. And this is the umbilical cord that goes from the placenta to the baby, still attached. And that'll dry out over the next couple of days. Even though there wasn't an emergency, it's not any of the ones that they predicted. It could happen with anybody. And being in hospital wouldn't have made it any safer. It still would have happened, so then we've got a healthy baby.
Lisa's baby will stay attached to the cord until it dries out and breaks away. Normally it's cut soon after birth, as there's no scientific evidence to prove lotus birthing helps the baby.
Want to have a look at this placenta?
Let's have a blood-stained towel.
Yeah, in here. There it is. Can you see?
It's meaty, like...
Meaty? Yeah, well, it is. It's a big bit of tissue.
It looks rather, like, bloody as well.
Yeah, and Daddy washed most of the blood clots off. So it's not as dark now. It's more sort of pinky, isn't it?
Yeah.
Washed, towel dried, and ready for seasoning.
We've just salted the placenta, which dries it out, and lavender oil and some crushed lavender flowers on rose petals on the placenta to make it smell all girly and florally. I think Lotus birthing makes for a happier, more calm, contented baby. And yeah, hopefully if the next 3 could be like that, it'll be an easy life.
3 new babies and 1 to go. Jo's labour started in the early hours and she delivered her baby alone and unobserved, with only her partner Dan by her side.
She's that big and she weighs about that much. I feel proud that we've got the birth that we wanted. It was simple. It was powerful because it was so gentle and undisturbed.
Do you think some people might just think that you were lucky?
I bet loads of people will think that we're lucky, but I bet the odds of luck go up somewhat if you have 2 in a row. Probably giving birth is probably the most powerful event and experience that a woman will ever have. And that should not be compromised or sacrificed in order for somebody else. Ever.
Is this your little baby sister? Are you happy?
Yeah.
Keen to savour her placenta, Katie's eating it over a number of days.
Mixed berries. They look nice. There's the sour cherries. We're going to put some banana in and some coconut milk. So if we peel back the membrane, like so, it's got all the membrane on that side, and I guess this is the kind of meaty part that you could probably eat. I think if we just cut that much off.
A conservative portion.
That looks pretty nice, doesn't it? Do you know what? It just tastes and looks exactly the same as a normal smoothie.
Hair and makeup, a practice smile.
That's lovely, that's great. OK, good. Okay, big smile, everybody, big smile.
A glossy photo shoot 48 hours after birth.
That's lovely. How low can you get down to without being... I don't want to put you there. About that, yeah. Can you bring Theo towards you this way a little bit more so we stop over a bit? No, OK, don't worry, don't worry. Why don't we just sit you...
I still don't understand why we should always defend ourselves. People do want to keep saying to you, you should do it this way and you should do it that way, and there's no solution that's right or wrong. It's whatever works best for you. You can't put a mould on everyone. Everyone is not the same. We're all born differently. We all have different thoughts and different views on life, and that's why we all make our own choices.
That's good.
I think she looks just like you, Matilda, when you were a baby.
4 women, 4 very different births. 4 happy babies.